Welcome to Sacred Stories, a sacred space where the beautiful divine voices of today are shared. I am your host, Reverend Patricia Caginello, formerly Brooks, and together, with the help of our courageous guests, we are going on a powerful journey, a sacred journey into our shared consciousness. Today, I am absolutely delighted because I'm able to interview my three co-authors of a brand new book published by Sacred Stories Publishing called Scanning for Signal. And I'm going to start the interview reading actually the inspiration for the title of the book, one of the short introspective writings that comprise this amazing book. And it goes like this. So many hearts locked away in our time, password protected. Perhaps the rare seekers should get a tattoo of a Wi-Fi symbol, just so we know who is open for connection and scanning for signal. My co-authors that I'm going to introduce to you are Caitlin Abendroth. She is one of what we call our resident millennials. Caitlin has a degree in the performing arts and is currently starring in an off-Broadway play called The Video Games. Reverend Kaya Abendroth is an interfaith minister, actually one of my seminary sisters, I'm so delighted to say, and a professional trumpet player. Evan Corey currently works as an editor. Actually, he works for Sacred Stories Publishing, and I'm delighted to share that also. He's what I tell him all the time. He's our secret weapon. And he's completing his degree in communications and media. And then there's me, Reverend Patricia Caginello, who is an interfaith minister and the CEO and founder of Sacred Stories. And so I'd like to say, welcome, Caitlin, Kaya, and Evan to Sacred Stories. Hello, guys.
Hey, Patty.
Hey. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. So how excited? Is everybody here excited to share this beautiful collaboration with the world?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So, guys, how we're going to do this is I'm going to ask each of you a question about the book, and then I'm going to ask everybody to share their favorite muse. And so I'm going to start with Evan. And so, Evan, how would you describe for our audience Scanning for Signal?
I would describe Scanning for Signal as first of all, a collaborative effort. We took writings from 4 authors, and we're all different ages. Kayla and I are the resident millennials, so we kind of bring a more of a younger perspective, but we do have the wise words from Patricia and Kaya. But basically we live in different areas, we are different ages, but we are very, very similar in spirit across the board. So it's kind of a collaboration almost in spirit and in attitudes towards connection, and especially kind of in this day and age where connection is becoming easier. We kind of wanted to just explore the need for connection amongst our peers, and just kind of explore through our honesty, our own experience, and our thoughts and questions, and kind of just wanted to put that out to the world, and hopefully people grabbed on and found some worth in it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Evan. Kaya, why is Scanning for Signal important?
Thanks so much, Patty. I think Scanning for Signal, what it embodies to me, as Evan was already touching on, is this spirit of collaboration and community. And I feel like, especially right now, there's such a collective desire to really come together as a people and to really learn to embrace each other's gifts and work together. And when you do that, it's such an opportunity for growth as a community, as an individual, and just globally. So I hope, that this book can continue to embody and inspire that message of the value of collaboration and the beauty of collaboration, and that it can be a beacon for that and continue to inspire that in our world.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt. It's especially in today's world, we're coming on the heels of one of the most contentious elections, at least in modern history in the United States. And I feel that the divisions are just growing. So the spirit of collaboration and the spirit of community that the both of you have spoken of, strikes a chord deep in my heart for sure. Caitlin, what do you hope this book accomplishes?
I really hope this book can act as a helping hand, honestly, to everyone and anyone, and especially I feel like young people my age, people even younger, because at this age and like in the teenage years, I feel like people are so focused on forming who they are more than ever and trying to figure out where they belong in the world and finding their relationships and connection to themselves, who they want to be, their place in the world. And I feel like this book says, don't worry, this is all of us. We are all unique, but we're all in this together. And I think that can be very important.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just give a little back history on the book also. So this book has been about an 8-month project, a collaboration. And it started with me just writing, short things, how I'm feeling, from the depths of emotion on days when I was feeling intense joy or intense pain for one reason or another. The idea of just had to get something out, and I started jotting down these short phrases or thoughts and started calling them muses. And as I was doing this writing, I felt such a need that if I was feeling such an intensity of emotion, that other people would be also. But I knew that my writings were not enough. I knew that there was more of a collective voice, and there was other people with very deep emotions and wise hearts and beautiful wisdom to share. And so I reached out. And I reached out to Evan, and I reached out to Kaya, and Kaya reached out to her sister Caitlin. And I have to say, guys, like I honest to God, I was just so thrilled when I invited you all to go on this journey with me. I'm not even sure that you all really knew what the journey would entail, 8 months ago, but you all said yes. You all said, you would step up. And in my heart, it was really for the collective. It was really for the greater good to try to create something together that could be of service to others. So I don't know if I've ever really shared that with all of you, how much that's meant to me, and your trust and your heart and the tremendous amount of hours and hours and hours of time, that we've put in this to, collectively to create this, what I believe a beautiful and important piece of work. So I just want to say, thank you. Thank you to all of you for saying yes.
Oh, and thank you to you too, Patty.
Yes, and thank you, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a full journey.
It's been a journey, and I feel like it's just really beginning, because as Scanning for Signal is beginning to be shared, we're starting to get responses from people, and people are starting to say, wow, they're getting it and they're feeling it, so I think that's what's the most important to me, is that somebody else can benefit or maybe feel a little less alone than they feel, or maybe they can look at their pain maybe a little bit differently, or have the knowing that they can reach out, that there is support, that they're held, even if it is through the pages of the book, that the spirit is there with them. Kaya, does that resonate with you? Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like this book is it's such a gift, and it has because of its diversity, such a wide range of potential impact and so many places to kind of grab hold and find connection. And I think that it's just really powerful in that way.
Yeah, I agree. And I gave everyone just a little taste by reading kind of the inspiration for the title, That One Muse. But I'm going to ask each one of our authors to read one of their favorite muses, because I have to say it's very difficult for me especially to pick just one. And so I'd like to start with Evan. You know, Evan, if you could share your one of your favorite muses from the book, and then share why you picked it, or why it's meaningful to you.
Sure, absolutely. It doesn't have a title, but it starts off like this. What a delight it would be to turn yourself off, physically, entirely by definition. Imagine an off switch right at the base of your neck. You switch it down and you turn off. Like a child's toy, like the last light in a restaurant, moments before the door is shut, the lock is turned. You are unneeded at this point in time. Please cease to exist indefinitely. To be inanimate for a while. What a delight that would be. And that's a muse that I wrote, and it's really a desire that I've had for as long as I can remember, to kind of step outside of whatever was going on, to take a break, to be inanimate, to kind of just have the luxury of stepping out and exiting for an indefinite amount of time. And I've always had that desire, and I've never kind of articulated it in really any way besides like to myself. But then as I started writing, getting those kind of juices flowing, which is kind of like another great thing. We kind of fed off each other's own writings and stuff like that. But yeah, so this was kind of just a true desire that I've had, that I was able to share here. And one of the great things about this book is kind of it's really based in honesty. It's kind of just honest words from all of us, from our different experiences, and yeah, that's kind of just a desire and a feeling I've had for a long time. And as I've shared it with people, I find that people have shared that too. So I was glad to kind of get that out there and see people were also feeling that way.
Isn't that amazing, though? And I think that is why I was so passionate about bringing Scanning for Signal to life, because I feel that we, as a species, as humans, we self-isolate so much. We feel that we're the only ones who feel something, or that we're hesitant to share what's really going on with us sometimes, because we feel that no one else will feel it or understand it.
Absolutely. I found through this process, that connection is kind of like, we're all right on the verge of connection. Sometimes it just takes the someone taking the onus to share, but really people everywhere are kind of ready to share and ready to connect, which is, yeah, as you said, kind of really cool thing about this book. It kind of gives a platform for that honesty between very close friends and family, but also total strangers.
Yeah, the honesty. If Scanning for Signal can open up an honest communication or honest feelings between individuals, I would say that it has been well worth the effort, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, Evan. Caitlin, can you please read your favorite muse for us?
Absolutely. I also definitely had trouble picking just one, but this is one I decided on because it's become kind of almost a mantra of mine this past couple weeks. Here it goes. There is a joy in me that rises free every time I watch things change. A smile that comes despite the way the winds may ruffle my feathers. And I think, it's been a good reminder for me as I read it always to remember that while everything may seem absolutely just wild and crazy on the outside, and everything around me might not make the most sense or feel the best, that everything is working for positive growth. And I think that's definitely an important thing to remember always.
And you know what? And I think that it gives the readers of the book, I think it gives them hope, tremendous hope. And I think that that's really, really important. And even when things can get ruffled, right, that there's still such great beauty. Yeah,
exactly.
without a doubt. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Kaya, my dear sister Kaya, can you please read your favorite news for us?
Yeah, definitely. Like all of you, it's such a challenge to pick, one piece of beauty out of this amazing collection of, thoughts and wisdom and feeling. But there's one musing here that has been with me for a while that I wrote down in a journal just to describe a vision that I had that was impactful. And I still think about it, and I still reach to it to help me in different times in my life. So I'd like to share it today. It's called Forest of Mirrors. I'm walking through a dark forest. I'm chasing after someone, a girl. She radiates with warmth and light and beauty and joy. I look nothing like her. My body is colorless and pale. My dark, lifeless hair clings to my back, wet. Then I see her. I race forward, groping desperately for her arm, but my hand hits something hard instead. In front of me, battered and worn, is a mirror. I spin around, assuming she is behind me, but no one is there. I'm alone. I always have been. Alone in this forest of mirrors.
It's so funny. I listen to all these muses and I'm smiling because I love them all so much, and I want to cry at the same time with just the depth of spirit that comes through them. Kaya, why is that one of your favorites?
Patty, I think for me, this was like a turning point in really coming to grips with the reality that, we are all so deeply interconnected, not just with one another, but with our own vision for ourselves and for our lives, that which we look forward to, that which we look up to, and that which we wish to be as a humanity and as an individual already exists and is actually already a part of who we are. And that while we may feel like we're chasing it, we're really in this some sort of magical realm where it already exists and it's already who we are. And I think, when I fall into forgetting and when I need that reminder that that thing that I'm chasing is really who I am, it helps me have that visual image, like, okay, this beautiful thing, this beautiful person, this beautiful way of life, like, just remember that it's already in there. I'm just running around in this forest of mirrors.
This thing that I'm chasing, I already am. That could be its own muse. We should, for scanning for signal 2, let's make a note of that one. But it's so true, right? Isn't it so true? And I feel that is part of what makes our existence so difficult for so many, is that they're always looking outside of who they are. They think there's something greater than what is within them. And what is within them and who they are is already so miraculous. Magnificent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That's beautiful, and it's interesting. I'll just share this, and people have already said this to me, but they believe that Scanning for Signal can be performed. So Caitlin, our off-Broadway actress, I'll just put this little bug there, but can you just imagine this beautiful collaboration of even a spoken word play, or even having them sung or something like that, the depth of feeling that can come from having Scanning for Signal performed, because they need to be read out loud, right? Or sung out loud.
Yeah, I agree that really could be very powerful. Something to think about for sure.
Absolutely. We're just going to put that energy out into the universe right now. Okay, so I'm going to read my favorite, one of my favorites, and this is actually one is written by Caitlin, and it goes like this. Flowers are miraculous beings. They live to grow and bloom to the sun. They brighten the world just by living. I don't think humans are too different from flowers at all. I think we just need to accept our own miraculousness and let ourselves be. And I love that one, and I picked that one because it speaks to what we were just talking about. It speaks to the magnificence of spirit. It speaks to who we are, and that I think that we just don't realize that individually and collectively. We come from a place of thinking less than, that for some reason we are less than. We start off behind the 8 ball, right, instead of in front of it, embracing the beauty of who we are. And what I love about that muse, and what I love about the book Scanning for Signal, is that it is truly that journey. It is the seeker's journey of coming from a place of feeling, the disconnection. And hopefully, if we've done our jobs, and conveyed our feelings strong enough in this book, that to find the connection to self, connection to each other, the connection to our world, and really understand our own, miraculous beings. Evan, you are the editor of the book in addition to being an author, and one of the beautiful things that you were able to do is to kind of create this flow of the book, the way that Scanning for Signal is laid out. So we've been talking about it being a collection of these introspective writings, these muses, these beautiful heartfelt sentiments that have really been birthed from all of us. But it's really more than that. It's really in this structure that you've created for this book. It's taken on a whole other level of life. Can you share how Scanning for Signal is kind of laid out, and what your thoughts were in doing it this way?
Absolutely. Basically, we started out with just kind of gathering our respective writings, things that we thought were kind of, we weren't actually, when we were gathering the writings, we weren't even really sure, like you said earlier, what the book was going to be. So basically there was definitely an issue of organizing, not an issue in any sort of bad way, but we had a lot of writings from like the past from all of us. We had we were writing in real time, so there's a lot of emotions that are being explored in kind of this package that we first started out with, and then as we were working through them and whittling them down, I found kind of three different kind of levels of maybe enlightenment or consciousness or mindfulness, or 3 different stages of kind of searching for the broader connection that we hope that this book provides. So basically, I ended up kind of separating the book into three levels of seeking. The first level, and we kind of denote that with our Wi-Fi symbols, like going along with the title, Scanning for Signal. So kind of a first Wi-Fi signal that's not full. Maybe it's got like 1 bar all the way up to a full Wi-Fi symbol that represented like total connection and enlightenment. But so basically, the book is kind of starts out as a seeker's journey. It's a kind of a collective seeker's journey, kind of like all of our experiences and truths and honest thoughts molded into kind of, even if you think about it, like one person going through their own spirit and their own consciousness. So we kind of, and that's something that we hope the reader will respond and recognize too. And kind of there's a slow burn of questioning and seeking, which turns into more kind of spiritual, in-depth questioning, thoughts of connection and things of that nature, up into our more enlightened, our more conscious, our more high-minded and higher vibrational thoughts that kind of finishes the book off. So I think there's definite kind of like value, and also kind of something that people can really relate to, is this journey of progression and seeking and being very lost at the end, but kind of being very, very content at the end of it. I hope readers understand that and can really relate to that.
Yeah, it's really a brilliant way that the book has been structured, and the use of the Wi-Fi symbol, which is a takeoff for the Scanning for Signal Muse, is also, I think you and Caitlin had mentioned it as a resonant image of this generation, and I think that is so true. So thank you. Thanks so much, Ev. Caitlin, not to call you out on this, however, just real briefly, the book is definitely divided into 3 sections, right? So it's the seeker's journey, as Evan had said. Do you resonate with a particular part of the book more than another?
Interesting question. Yes. While I do resonate with different parts of it at different times, for sure, I definitely find myself more in the second section, that kind of in between, the still searching. Like I don't feel as completely lost, but it's that point of realizing the opportunity, the chance for expansion, and yeah, really the searching of it, which is definitely where I feel like I am at in life right now, based on my age. I'm 22. I just graduated college, and this point in life is a lot about searching still and deciding where you want to land, where you want to plant your feet and plant your roots, where you want to take from and grow from, and how you want to grow.
Thanks so much, Caitlin. And Kaya, we would be remiss if we didn't mention another really important part of the book. I would say it's probably one of my most favorite sections, the way the book is laid out. And it actually started as one of your muses that was broken into 2 pieces, kind of a love letter at the start of the book and a love letter at the end. And if it's okay, I'd like to go ahead and read it and then have you share your thoughts on it. I think it's a beautiful way to kind of take us out for the interview. Okay?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. So we start the book with it opens up with a letter that says, "Dear God, the universe, source, whoever you are, would you help me? I don't know where I'm going. My heart is reaching out, the broken pieces of me, falling down like dust. Can you help me? There is no way to find you in all of this darkness." And the book ends with another letter It says, "Dear sweet one, there is a way to find me. I am already holding you. This darkness is my arms, the rhythm of your heart, my love. I can help you, always, when you call. So gently lay yourself down. The ground is my caress. Rest here in my arms, for now and forever. Love, God, the universe, source, whoever you need me to be." Kai, I have to say, I know that you wrote that. And my one of my daughters today, 19, called me because she finished reading the book. And she specifically spoke about that ending passage, about the ground being the caress. And she was so taken by the closing love letter. And I just want to acknowledge that, because it's just so incredibly beautiful. And I also want you to just kind of share your thoughts on that. Share, where that came from, or what you hope people will feel when they read those love letters.
Oh goodness, just hearing it's making me like emotional over here. At some point, Patty, I had taken to sometimes writing to God, and also to allowing myself to be open to listening to getting an answer and seeing if God wanted to write back. And sometimes God did. And in those moments when we feel the most lost and are in this experience of the deepest and sometimes most fearful darkness, are the opportunities where we can also open to receive the most. We have the most spaciousness to receive more love and more care and more support. And just this reminder that even when we feel so completely alone and so completely lost and so completely disconnected, that the Spirit is there, life is there, living as us and through us and just all around us. And even just that thought can be a little anchor that can help start that motion back towards connection. So I think, in the beauty of this book, those letters could have just, remained with me only, but they're for all of us, our shared life. So it's such an honor to be able to share them, and just such a privilege to work together in that way, to bring these messages of our hearts together to create this just beautiful present for anyone who is on that spiritual journey, as I believe, we all really are.
Thank you, Kaya. Our shared life. What a beautiful sentiment to wrap this interview up on. And that is our invitation with the book Scanning for Signal. The invitation to share life, the invitation to connect to self, to connect to each other, to connect to our world. Scanning for Signal is available through Sacred Stories Publishing, Amazon, and all major e-tailers. And I really encourage everyone to check it out. It is a labor of love. It is a sharing of our hearts. And it is our outstretched hand to you to connect. So until next time, I wish you all well and remind you to write your sacred story well.